All right, let's talk about the invisible engines that run literally everything around us. Operating systems. But how many of them really matter? How many of these digital giants truly run the world?
Yeah, just 8. That's it. It might sound low, but when you really boil it all down, these are the ones that count. And what's super interesting is that each one was built with a totally different idea in mind. So in this explainer, we're going to break down what makes each of them tick.
And I mean, they run everything. Think about it. The phone in your pocket, the laptop on your desk, even the giant servers that beam Netflix right to your screen. It's all an OS.
Okay, so let's start with the place we all know best, our computers. This is the classic desktop battleground.
And of course, we have to start with a big one, the undisputed king of market share, Microsoft Windows. It's funny, when it first came out way back in 1985, it wasn't even a real operating system. It was just like a pretty face, a visual shell, on top of the old, clunky, text-based MS-DOS. But boy, has it come a long way.
So here's the deal with Windows. Its greatest strength is also its biggest weakness. On one hand, it's super versatile. You can run it on pretty much any PC out there, and the software library is just massive. But that openness makes it the #1 target for viruses and malware. Throw in some heavy system requirements, those updates that always seem to pop up at the worst time, and, well, you know the one, the infamous blue screen of death.
Now, on the complete other side of the ring, you've got Apple's Mac OS. And they take the exact opposite approach. While Windows is built to run on anything, Mac OS, nope. It's built for one thing, and one thing only, Apple's own hardware. And that tight control, that iron fist over both the hardware and the software is exactly why Mac OS is so smooth and stable. It's why creative pros love it and why your iPhone and your Mac just work together, you know? But the catch is you're stuck in that walled garden, that expensive Apple ecosystem. And forget about a lot of high-end PC gaming.
So you can see the core philosophies here, right? Windows is all about versatility and compatibility. You pick the gear. Mac OS is all about optimization and integration. They pick it for you, and it just works. Okay, so what if you're not a Windows person or a Mac person? What if you need something different? Well, that's where things get really interesting with the specialized alternatives. Maybe you're the kind of person who likes to get under the hood, a programmer, a security expert, or you just love to build and tinker with your system. If that's you, then you've got to meet Linux. It was born in 1991 with this radical idea, an operating system that was totally free and open source. That means its code is out there for anyone to see, to change, to build on. The thing about Linux, though, is you don't just install Linux. You install what's called a distro, or a distribution. The easiest way to think about it is like flavors of ice cream. They're all ice cream, but each one has a different taste and different toppings, you know? Each distro is tailored for a specific job, whether that's running a giant web server or making a super secure laptop. All right, let's switch gears to a completely different mindset. What if your entire life is in the browser? You live on the web. Well, Google had an idea for that. It's called Chrome OS, and it's an operating system designed to do one thing really well, live online. The big upside is that it's super fast, super secure, and it runs on these really affordable laptops called Chromebooks. That's why schools love them. But there's a big catch. You pretty much need an internet connection for it to do anything useful. You're not going to be running Photoshop on it, and it's definitely not built for heavy-duty work. Okay, we've covered the desk. Now let's talk about the computer that's with us 24/7, the one in our pocket. And here we see another huge divide. First up, the 800-pound gorilla of the mobile world, Google's Android. It's an open-source platform, which means any company can use it. That's why you see it on phones from Samsung, Xiaomi, you name it. The variety of devices is just staggering. And that's the whole philosophy of Android, choice. You can customize anything you want, and there's a phone for every single budget. But, and it's a big but, that openness has its downsides. Getting the latest software update can be a real waiting game. And a lot of phones come stuffed with junk apps, that bloatware that you just can't get rid of. And who's on the other side? You guessed it, Apple's iOS, the one and only operating system for iPhones and iPads. So look at that. The fight in your pocket is almost exactly the same as the fight on your desk. It really is a choice between Android's total customization and open platform versus iOS's simplicity and complete control. Okay, desks, check. Pockets? Check. But now we're going to go deeper. We're going to pull back the curtain and look at the granddaddies of them all, the ancient architects that everything else is built on top of. The family tree goes way back to the late 60s with a powerhouse called Unix, born at AT&T. Then in the 70s, a new branch sprouted from it at UC Berkeley called BSD. And then, remember Linux from a minute ago? Well, it was created in '91 specifically to be a free Unix-like system. They all share that same powerful DNA.
So that's a cool history lesson, but you're probably thinking, who cares about these ancient systems today? Like, where are they even running? Well, the answer is everywhere, and it's going to surprise you. This is the big reveal. You know that old Unix system? It's still the workhorse running critical systems for big banks and even National Weather Services. And BSD? Oh, that's just the core of the PlayStation 4 and 5. It also helps power the massive network that lets you binge-watch Netflix. And Linux? It runs pretty much the entire internet, all the giant servers for Google, Facebook, you name it. So there you have it. From the desk to your pocket, all the way down to the invisible infrastructure of the web itself, it's all running on an OS. Every single digital thing you touch.
And in the end, that's what an operating system is. It's the window to your digital life. Each one offers a different view, a different philosophy. So, is the one you're using giving you the best view for you?